All right, welcome to the franchise time machine. Normally, I like to try to wait until after Ezra's seventh inning stretch, but I guess he's running late tonight, and I've got to get up in the morning, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Also, don't want to have to keep rebjr up too late to do the roster build. I do have the roster file ready to go. I believe it checked out okay. I'm looking one last double check of it. Yeah, looks good. So I'll go ahead and put that up. And then I'm going to do the pack giveaway form. rebjr currently tied for fewest wins and second fewest wins. I was going to say first and second, but I didn't want anyone nitpicking that because second is technically third. Those are two people tied for first, so fewest wins and second fewest wins. Let's see, pack giveaway form. Okay, we'll just copy the form from rebjr's last run. Okay, so we're going to update the form here. I did update the title. Let's see. Is 54. Okay, I think that's right now. Again, please make sure your OTP username is correct, especially it is case sensitive, so make sure that's right. I have had one bounce back recently for that, so please be careful at that. And then for lowball, the new questions that have been added during OOTP27 are after home runs by the home run leader, it's strikeouts, batter strikeouts. And then in the pitching section, after pitcher strikeouts, we have pitcher home runs allowed. Pitcher strikeouts and then pitcher home runs allowed. So those are the new questions in OOTP27 for low ball. So here's the link. Okay. Form is, oh, can't pin it. Form is pinned. All right, let me go ahead and get this run set up in the game. Oh yeah, I was gonna peek in on, let's see. I was in the tournament. See if I can find it. Not that one. Can't find it. I guess I might have been knocked out already. I think there was a weekly I was still in, but no, actually that wouldn't be the case because oh, it still says Baltimore on the form. Okay, so yeah, it is St. Louis. Let me correct the form. Thank you for catching that, Nerd of Anarchy. It is St. Louis. So if you all hit refresh, it should you should get that updated. It is the Cardinals. Sorry about that, Nerd of Anarchy. Thank you for catching that. What was it? There was a tournament I was going to check in on because must not be that important if I can't remember it. I don't think it's a weekly because all the weeklies ended with the main event. I'm trying to remember if there's a daily I was particularly interested in that I would have been following. The final PTCS standings for PTS number 3 come out tomorrow. So all these weeklies and dailies and traditional tournaments wrapping up today are everyone's last shots to qualify. So that's why I thought I was tracking something, but I'm going through my accounts and I don't see it. So it must not that have been that important. And then after the stream tonight, I need to do an Iron Cap tournament because I signed up for it by mistake. Or I'm just going to let it gym unknown depending on how late it is. That's one thing I've been doing this cycle that I think I've been better about, which is just punting on a tournament or a draft if it means getting a little more sleep or not. Is it this one? Oh, okay, yeah. I was in a live speed run and I was hoping we can get a little mileage out of that before the end of the cycle, before the end of the PTCS cycle. But we were knocked out, so never mind. Never mind. Now we're back to just setting the stage for PTS number 4. Qualifying for that will start on Monday, and I'm not sure if it's a 4 or 5 week PTCS, but should be another fun cycle of qualifying. I also seem to have found my footing a little bit in weeklies, starting to get some results finally, so that's been good. Alright, so let's put the game up here. We'll go ahead and get this run set up. We're going to do new game, quick start, create a roster run environment. This will be low ball, OOTP27, rebjr run number 3. I'm a little concerned. I usually do a preemptive reboot before streaming, and I did do that tonight. But my PC is kind of acting a little slow, which is what tends to happen before it crashes. So, Nerd of Anarchy might get one of those bonus streams tonight. I hope not, but that's what it kind of feels like right now. All right, let's see. We're going to go St. Louis. Rev Jr. Commissioner mode cannot be fired. And first we'll do the mailbox settings. Yeah, the cursor, the mouse is like, the cursor is not very responsive, so that's always a sign that makes me worry. Okay, we'll clear out this roster. I saw rebjr in the chat earlier, so we know he's around. Okay, so this is ready to go. For player creation, we go to Manager pull down menu, GM and Manager Actions, Signer Free Agent. And under the actions, which if you're in commissioner mode, you'll have this actions pull down. I know we have Smiley Face Jane playing peak performances coming up. For historical games like that, we do import historical players. But for create a roster games, we do create fictional players. So this is where we're going to come. But first, we're going to go over this with Reb Jr. Let me go. Reb Jr., do you want to be in the voice chat tonight? Okay. Let's go ahead and set that up. All right, you're in the stream, so can you give me a volume check, please?
Yeah, can you hear me? My microphone working today?
Okay, I'm going to boost you a little bit, I think.
Okay.
All right, I think that sounds better. All right, we can adjust as we go. All right, so is there anything you want to say about this roster file for today?
Yeah, I decided to go with the or with the 5 outfielders this time, and move all the starting pitchers up to bench because I think that actually having them at scrub level is a detriment, and I don't think that anybody has thought of it that way.
Yeah, I mean we've had Nerd of Anarchy do a bench level rotation. We've had, was it just Nerd of Anarchy? No, we had yeah. So it's just been you and I think Nerd of Anarchy who've done bench level SPs. But yeah, all right, let's do this. I think I saw you there. You made some slight changes, like right field, left field too, right? But yeah, the biggest thing I
Yes.
think is that rotation moving to bench level. All right, let's do it. I always like having scrub level position players, so it'll be fun to do those. All right, here we go. So we're gonna start with we'll come. I will show this in the stream between levels, but the first 2 levels, legend and star, are gonna be all relief pitchers. So we're just gonna go 6 relief pitchers in a row to start. So RP, average age, legend level, 5 of these. Oh yeah, so what's going on with the cruise? You have another cruise, right?
Yes, that's coming up in October.
Hmm.
I think that it's Pat Duell.
That duel. Yeah, lowest control, lowest stamina. Now, is this like a similar thing where it's like the all you can eat, all you can drink?
Yep, all the fun stuff.
But going with your girlfriend this time. Last time was your dad, right? This time you're going with your
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yep. Yep.
Is this the first like big trip you've done with her, or?
Yeah, this is the first big one. We've done some smaller stuff together, but this
Yeah.
is the first like really big.
Has she been on a cruise before?
Actually no. So this is the first time.
Does she know if she gets seasick or not?
Uh, yeah. So she did say she doesn't get seasick.
Okay,
So I did
that's good.
ask about this.
Plus, I've heard on those large cruise ships, you don't really feel it much anyway. Is that true?
That is also true.
Okay. I didn't know that I get violently seasick on open ocean. Like I for a long time I was only ever on lakes and rivers and stuff, and so then I went on the ocean and just like was throwing up my guts all the whole time.
Uh, let's go with Danny Giro.
Yeah, this guy's a great lowball pitcher. Terrible control, worst HRA, and worst stamina. Really good, I think, lowball pitcher. I think two of the best lowball, maybe legend relief pitchers we've seen in 27. And the nickname Hooker, fantastic. Hooker, that is great. Ezra Denny, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. You were just in time to see Legends level relief pitcher Danny Hooker Gyro. Gyro? Or Euro? Is it like the food? Is it a Euro? Anyway, welcome in, Ezra. Enjoyed your stream. I had to fire up. I couldn't stick around for the seventh inning stretch because I didn't want to run too late. But if this game was really random, something good. Well, that's true. That's true. Maybe it's just coded against the Giants, just like the game score is coded against Max LP 80. All right, legend level. But yeah, I think Reb Jr. may have gotten two of the best legend level low ball pitchers of the cycle. So off to a good start. Oh, and reminder, there is a reroll in 27. All right, we're going to go to 4-star level relief pitchers now. All right, here we go.
Bobby Woods, another excellent
Yeah.
low ball.
Yeah, another good one. Oh, and Ezra, if you're still in the chat, it sounded like when you're in EVC's chat that you might want to play Creator Roster again. So if you do, you're always welcome. Bobby Brownie Woods. That's a pretty good nickname. Star level. I think one thing we haven't really figured out is how important is it to have a good or bad bullpen. This might be the good test of because I don't think we've had a really solid like nerfed bullpen, but this is starting to look like that. All right, another relief pitcher, star, average age, star level. Man, they keep coming. I did put star, right? I'm like 99% sure I put star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Jose Sanchez is our guy.
All
If
right.
I've ever seen a low ball.
Yep, that's the guy I was looking at when I said, "Am I sure that I put star level?" Jose Sanchez is the one I was looking at when I said that. He does have half of the good shape. If you have high HRA and high control, even with low stuff, tends to play pretty well in 27. But this guy's only got half that shape. So, Old Warhorse. Just stacking the nicknames tonight as well. St. Louis, there it is. All right, another relief pitcher incoming. Average age, star level. I mean, no standout low balls, but I think several good low ball options here.
Yeah, Nick Thomas is gonna fit the bill.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think he looks pretty good. He doesn't jump out as much as the other groups did because they're still green, but this is a good low ball shape here too. Pretty good. Big Thunder. All right, I think there's one more, but we'll double check. Yep, one more star level relief pitcher. Yeah, still pretty good. Still some good options.
I like Kessler.
Okay. This might be the worst pool you've had, and it's probably like one of the best low ball pools most people see. So this has been a really good start to your round, I think. Now, why is take in all caps?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for it.
All right, let's. St. Louis down here. All right. As we now go down to the good level, we've got two more relief pitchers to finish out the bullpen. So you're going 13 pitchers, two catchers, and then the first of two right fielders. The other one will be at the average level. All right, so let these good relief pitchers. Average age, good level. 5 of these. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is great. Several good options here. In fact, all good options here. You could throw a dart and still get a good low ball pick.
How do you not go with JD Pope?
You want Pope? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like the 25 control. My favorite would have been Sean Harrell, but I think, like I said, there are four, maybe even five good profiles here worth taking. So.
Yeah, I think that the 25 control is enough to put that over the top, and he doesn't have 80 stuff, which is really kind of the thing you don't want to see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. For low ball, though, I prefer the 35 stuff with without that good shape. I think that low stuff tends to get punished, but yeah, 25 control at good level, hard to pass up. Also. All right, one more relief pitcher. This will be the last relief pitcher. I think so far this might be the best low ball bullpen we've seen all cycle.
Brian Smith.
Brian Smith. Okay. Yep. Taking the low control over the low HRA, but also taking the lower stamina there. I would have been a Whitford fan, but I like Smith too. I also like that Smith is a lefty, so he'll be facing a lot of righty batters that hopefully will give him a hard time. All right, I think I'm going to call it. I think this is the best low ball bullpen we've seen in all of 27. If someone thinks they had a better low ball bullpen, meaning like worse pitchers, let me know. I'm happy to look up the old files and see if we find a better low ball pen. But I think this is the best yet. All right, let's go to catchers now. Get two catchers incoming. All right, still at good level. 5 of these. Yeah, Amber, we see a lot. We'll see it in the starting pitchers more, but we've seen a lot of 20 and 25 control pitchers. And yeah, the ERAs tend to be in the high single or low double figures.
Blackwell. That's a
Yep. This
nice flat.
guy, this is a steal. Oh wait! I made catchers. I said these are supposed to be catchers. I made relief pitchers by mistake, which is
Ah,
too bad because this guy is amazing. These are supposed to be catchers. Sorry. There we go. Catcher. Good level. There we go. All right. Well, they still can't pitch, so that's good. All right. Here we go.
wow, a 2.5 star. I mean, how could you not take Shane Bobbick?
All right. Shane Bobbick is the choice. I mean, I still caution people in dead ball and low ball to not focus too much on the stars because the AI is looking
I
for different things. But I agree that he still ended up being the best low ball pick here. All right, now keep this profile in mind because we're going to go back-to-back catchers here, and the computer will be choosing between these two to see who starts. So here's catcher number 2. Oh, there's something for regular creator roster and for low ball creator roster players in this pool. Could you imagine getting Scott Pope at good level in a regular creator roster?
Oh my goodness, he would be so good.
60 defense and then 60, 70, 70 Babbitt power I? What a steal at good level.
I'll take Dan Cavan, but man, Scott Pope would have made somebody very happy in
Yeah,
real.
for sure. For sure. This is a wild pool. There's like good low ball and regular picks in the same pool. I'm going to screenshot this pool. So good. So you'd rather take on a little more power than a little more contact here. I think I would have been a Justin Field guy, but I can see the case for Cavan too.
I think that this is kind of part of that is Bushfield.
No, that's
Power's
true.
already
That's true.
suppressed,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
there's not really a reason to take the high BABIP guy. It actually probably is better.
All right, let's see. Last pick at this level is the first of 2 right fielders. The other one will be taken in the next level down, average. Last good level, right fielder.
Kind of to the same tune. I'll take Alberto Veal.
Berto Veal, yep. I would have really liked Caballero at good level for regular creator roster too. But yeah, I like Veal for low ball. Oh, we still get nicknames at good level. Alberto Jazz Veal. Don't always get those at good level anymore. Oops. Okay, now I gotta check the merit. I think as long as I don't do anything, the Mariners should still be fine. But let's go check on the Mariners real quick. Yep, they still have their 26-man roster, so that's good. Okay. JD Pope did not get labeled. So he would have been star. Let's see. Legend, star, good. Oh, he's good. Oh, because Veal's a right fielder, not a relief pitcher. Yeah, Pope is good level. So let me update that. So now we should be good. Yep, looks good. All right. We are now going to go down another level to average. Second of 2 right fielders, and then 2 left fielders, 2 center fielders, and the sole first baseman. So keep keep Veal in mind here as we go to your next right fielder. I think biggest drop off between levels is between good and average. At least we showed that in 26. We didn't do the complete testing in 27 yet, but yeah, you see a lot more interesting low ball profiles start showing up here.
Padilla. Padilla is our
Okay.
guy.
Melvin Padilla. Does play all three outfield spots. So first average level pick. All right, and then we go to left fielders.
Some more good profiles. Adrian Perez.
Adrian Perez. Okay. All right, keep Perez in your mind because we're going to go see your other left fielder next. I think it's less important though with these corner outfielders because usually they're interchangeable. I don't think I've seen a right or left fielder that doesn't play the other corner. So, um, but so I think still worth kind of keeping in mind what the other pairing looks like. Okay, there we go.
I will take Alzueta.
Nathaniel Alzueta. All right.
Another weird twist. There's a lot of good regular creator roster and low ball guys in both
Yeah.
of these.
I'm a big Roberto Lopez fan for regular trade roster. I know a lot of people don't like the low avoid K, but his fielding was also atrocious. But I would have gladly taken him at average level. All right, and then we've got two center fielders. Okay.
I will take Pete Botello.
Okay. I thought for sure you were going to go Keith Powers. All right. All right. Center fielder, average. All right. This will be whoever pairs with Mateo in center field. Oh, if I'm playing regular creator roster, I like Sal Osorio at average level.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, we're going to take. Almost want to re-roll these guys. They're almost all too good to be average, but I'm trying to save this for the pitchers. I'll take Nelson Spevulidel. Yeah, Nelson.
Okay. I mean, in LA, we have a Sepulveda Boulevard, so I would have said Sepulveda, but who knows? Um, yep. All right. Yeah, this would have been a tempting reroll round for sure. But I like your strategy of saving it for the pitchers, especially because you're going bench level pitchers. All right. And then we'd have one last pick at the average level. It's going to be a first baseman. All right, here we go. Last average level pick.
I will take Mike Christ.
Mike Christ, okay? Mike Christ. There we go. All right, that's the last of the average level. It's scrub and bench the rest of the way. All right, here's what we got coming up at the bench level. It is just 5 starting pitchers. The entire rotation. Pretty high stakes round here, I feel like. And you still have your reroll, so that's good. All right, first batch of starting pitchers. Go the pitcher view. There we go. Yeah, pretty good batch here for bench level.
I will take Justin Heald.
Okay. So you're going a high stamina approach for these starting pitchers. I know they're like very differing philosophies on starting.
I know
pitcher.
Flying WV specifically is a member of the. We want these pitchers to not pitch as much, so the bullpen plays more. But I'm like the exact opposite. I want them in the game
No,
as
no,
long
he
as
switched. He switched
possible.
now to
Oh,
high
he did.
stamina to keep bad pitchers in the game longer. In his last run, I think he switched. Yeah, he switched it up because he went 13 pitchers last time. He usually, when he goes 11, he tries to burn out the bullpen, but when he goes 13, he tries to keep the starters in, I think. All right, average age, bench level, 5 more of these. But yeah, I think that was a really good low ball pitcher there that you got. I think another good batch here.
We'll take Juan Calixto.
Yeah, lower stamina, but I think this profile is worth taking. I like this profile. All right, 2 starting pitchers down. I'm not going to label them SB because I think we know anyone who's bench needs to be in the rotation, so we'll just try to remember that. All right, 3rd of 5 starting pitchers at this level. All right. Staminas are back up again for this batch.
Mike Henson.
Mike Henson. Okay. All right, starting pitcher number 4 incoming. There we go.
This looks like where I want to pull the trigger on my reroll.
Okay. I was wondering if we're gonna take Nicola or we're gonna try to find higher stamina in a reroll. All right, let's delete these guys. Here comes the reroll. Starting pitcher, average age, bench level. Yeah, staminas are up.
I think this was
Controls are
definitely
also up a little.
Rich Sullivan. Rich O. Sullivan.
Yeah, this is a 30 HRA with the 65 stamina. I think good combination there for low ball. All right. Like that one a lot. All right, here we go. Last starting pitcher, including umpire Angel Hernandez.
I will take Ernst. I don't know. Actually, no, I'll take Kyle Hunter.
Kyle Hunter. Yeah, I like Hunter. Highest stamina, lowest HRA, lowest control. I like these. I like your rotation. My only concern is just a general concern that bench pitchers in general like look great for low ball on paper, but they always somehow perform so much better than the scrub pitchers. So we'll have to see if the weakened bats can make up for that. All right, we're heading down to the last level here, scrub. We've got second base, third base, I think starting second baseman, starting third baseman, and your both of your shortstops. So this could make a huge difference here. All right, let's go second base. Man, the whole starting left side of the infield at scrub level is pretty nice. I like that a lot. I mean, by left side, I mean everyone other than first base. So I'm including second base in that comment. Average age, scrub level. This should be good. All right, let's get the batting view. Whoo, nice.
How can I go against Rafael Sainz?
Yeah, I mean the 25 BABIP, 35 fielding is pretty great. 5 less power too that against Lovato. 5 less defense as well. Yeah, I like Sainz a lot. I mean 25 BABIP is just special. Only second base, which is nice too. I think the more important thing is that your other players not be able to play second base, so this guy has to start. But I mean, at this point, it's not like another scrub level players can be that much better than this guy anyway. So great low ball second baseman. I think you're gonna have a great low ball infield in general. So this is a good start to it. All right, next up is your only third baseman. Oh.
Oh my. Uh, I will take Aaron Dieter.
All right.
Yeah, give me that 30 defense. I'll take on the little bit of the extra power for that.
I would have been all over Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen was also that was probably the next consideration, but just with the power not really being there at
Yeah. Superman's photographer, Jimmy Olsen. Does play a little first base, which I don't think matters in this case because he's the lower level compared to your starting first baseman. So I don't think that'll hurt anything. All right, the infield is looking really nice from a low ball perspective. Now 2 shortstops.
I will take Lovic.
Ryan Lovick. 20 power, 40 BABIP. All right, let's get Lovick in there. Shortstop only. That does help. All right, last player, last shortstop, last scrub level guy. Let me just check. Make sure everyone's labeled, and then we're at 26 players. Yep, one more spot. Looks good.
Oh,
There
I
you
meant to
go.
ask because I couldn't watch yesterday. How did Flying WV's run go yesterday?
It was not great. He finished pretty high in wins. Trying to remember if there's a particular part of the. He was just one win within worse than the AL, but the Rockies were just dominating low ball last night. So 5 of these. Oh wait, I didn't fill anything in here. Shortstop, average age, scrub level. 5 of these. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think Nerdivaker might be right. I think it was around 62 wins total.
I will take Raphael. I'm not even going to try.
Kurindongo. See, this is a case where I might have gone better offense or better defense to try to get one of these bats to start, but I can also understand going with 25 defense at shortstop too. He does play all 3, but I don't think it really matters at this point. Because he's
Can
so
be bad
good.
at all of them equally.
Yeah. I think it's a bigger concern when one of your average, level guys can play multiple spots, but I think you avoided that. All right, so do you want to look at pitching staff, strategy, or batting orders first?
Let's go for pitching staff first.
Let me save this. Pitching staff. All right. So we're going to make sure it's all bench players in the rotation. Probably shouldn't be a problem because you did go low staminas across the bullpen, so I don't think we'll see any shenanigans here. Yeah, all bench. Kyle Hunter's your number 1. Rich O'Sullivan's your number 5. So what rotation mode would you like?
I will take strict order.
Okay. Batting or strategy next?
We'll go to batting next.
Okay.
We'll
You did get. This is nice when this happens. Jose Sanchez is a specialist, so we probably won't see him pitch much. So that's pretty good. Takes a star level pitcher off the board for you. Sorry, you did say strategy?
Yes. No, batting.
Oh,
batting.
batting. Okay, batting. Let's look at positional coverage first. Okay, you do have 2 at every position. Because Kuridongo plays second, but that's still pretty thin because he's also going to have to be backing up shortstop.
We did do something that I was scared of might happen. We avoided somebody in the outfield playing first base.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, your average level outfielders.
Yes,
yeah, none
all
of them
6
play
of them
first.
or 5 of them avoided first base.
Yeah.
So this infield is going to be terrible, and
yes.
I am ready for that.
Pretty terrible infield across the board, fielding and hitting. Yeah, that's more like, and if any of these average bats can come play these scrub positions, that's a problem. But I think you avoided that here. All right, so let's look at the batting and stars, and then ask for the lineups. So yeah, good level catcher on the bench, which is expected. But you do, yeah, like you said, you have 2 average level outfield bats now on the bench, which is great. That's a great dodge. That's awesome. All right, let's. And your DH is Alzueta is playing DH, one of your outfielders. So, but yeah, having 2 average bats on the bench is awesome. That's great. All right, and then strategy. Which one would you like to run?
I think it's still just tactician. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, tactician seems to be the one that fits the strategy best.
All right. All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for the channel point redemption. Thanks for being in the voice chat. I think you already have another one scheduled, or was this it for now?
This is the last one I had on my
Okay.
docket. I plan on. We'll see how this goes, though.
Yeah. Uh, well, I mean, October's still a long time away, but if we don't see you in the voice chat by then, have a good cruise. I'll be looking forward to hearing how it goes.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. See you in the chat. All right. Yep. Always fun when our players are able to join us in voice chat. I mean, it also makes it go faster, but it's also more interesting getting to hear their thoughts on the selections and stuff. So let me see where we are relative to the ad break. Oh, perfect time. We've got about 7.5 minutes to go. So we're just going to head and push 3 minutes of ads. That should push back the the next ad break till after the sim, which will be perfect. So this is also the 3 minute warning for the pack giveaway. So good luck filling that out. And we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, looks like we're back from the ad break. I think a couple of reasons to be excited about this low ball team. I really like the low ball infield. I think the bullpen was incredible low ball luck. Although I don't know, again, like, I don't know how much that's going to matter because they are still so good. Um, and the fact that the two average level bats on the bench is awesome. So I think stacking that outfield in the average level, and again, I think Rev Jr. acknowledged like there was some luck involved there, that none of them can play any infield spots, including first base, because I think there potentially be a big boost to the bat there. But I still worry about the bench level rotations. On paper, they look great from a low ball perspective, but they just somehow keep pitching so much better than the scrub level pitchers. We'll have to see. I think that's going to be the balancing act tonight on this sim. All right, is anyone else working on a form? Otherwise, I'm going to close it up so we can go ahead and get simming. A couple things I'm going to do to give people a little extra time is I'm going to get the spreadsheet view ready for later. All right, I think that's good. And oh, I didn't save the quick start either, so we'll do a save and then save. I'm pretty sure I did the save before, but did not do the quick start. Low ball OOTP27, Red Junior, run number 3. And now that it's saved as a quick start, we'll go ahead and sim to opening day. Get that preseason prediction ready. Not going to show it yet, but get it ready. All right, anyone else working on a form they're going to submit? Otherwise, I'm going to close it, and we will check out the guesses. Amber says if I ever did it, would be tempted to try pulling off what the 1896 Phillies did. Whole outfield batter over 400 and still finish that. Yeah, I mean, batting 400. It is dead ball 400, right? No power, not much power. But if that's all you have, I think that is overcomable with low ball for sure. Okay, we can wait for one more form to come in. Notre Dame, thank you for the scritches for Crouton. After his shameless collar shaking for attention and scritches, I actually we are rewarding this shameless behavior by giving the scritches right after, but they have been delivered. All right, good opinion haver is in. We have 7 now. I didn't hear anyone else asking me to leave the form open, so I'm going to close the form at this point. And let's check out these responses. We're just going to look at the ones that have like aggregated results. So here's what we've got. Good luck, everybody. Oops. All right, so worst record in the majors. Just under half of you think they will have the worst record in the majors. This is tough with the Rockies in play. It is tough. Worst record in the sub league, in the National League. Now this is interesting. One additional person thinks they'll be worse than AL, but not worse than the majors. So I guess they're counting on the Angels or the White Sox from the AL side. So that's interesting. Almost everyone thinks they'll be last in the division. And of course, no one thinks playoffs or win the division, so those seem right. So it might come down to the win total, but we'll see. We've had some early wins in the Survivor Style section. And just as a reminder, everyone gets to come back in for second place. So if you get knocked out of the survivor style part early, don't worry, you still have a chance for those 3 packs. All right, now let's see what the preseason prediction is saying. MLB pull down menu, reports and info, preseason predictions. Okay, we'll scroll down to the NL. 61 and 101. So that is within RNG range, definitely of second place with 57 wins. A bit of a stretch for first place with 54 wins, but can be done. Again, the ARA pretty low with a 5.10. Big difference here being those bench level starting pitchers. The offense, though, nicely nerfed at 652 runs. Let me pull up the leaderboard to see where 652 would come in. I think it might be in the running for lowest run total. Low ball 27. $652 would be the third lowest run total. The lowball Cardinals are 2-0 versus the Twins and somehow can't lose the last series to the Cubs. Wait, how are you 2-0 against the Twins? Oh, they tied when you had a preseason prediction of 70? Oh, okay. Well, that's impressive then. I do think the whatever method the preseason prediction uses, I think things like low ball give it a hard time. I think in regular career roster, the preseason prediction seems to be more accurate than in low ball. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because with Find a V's runs, it usually goes in the other directions, where it'll predict like win totals in the 40s or 50s, and he'll end up in the 60s. And with Rev Juniors, it predicted 70s, and he ended up in the 50s. So I do think for whatever reason, the low ball teams tend to throw off the algorithm for predicting the season, whatever the methodology is. All right, so no one in the top 10 pitchers are batters, I think, which is to be expected. All right, so let's go to opening day. Oh, sorry. We have to skip ahead to the Cardinals opening day, which is after the Tokyo series. So Cubs sweep the Dodgers again. I keep saying it. The OOTP27 engine does, for whatever reason, both Chicago teams overperform. Both 2025 Chicago teams overperform. Kind of like the way the OOTP26 engine really seemed to have a really good fit with the 2024 Dodgers. They just dominated, even beyond what they did in real life. They just seem to be consistently overperforming. All right, so let's go to opening day. Kyle Hunter is the starting pitcher today for the low ball team. All right, top of the first, Twins have a runner on second with 2 outs and a 3-1 count to Matt Wallner. And that's a fly ball to deep right center field, and it is gone. 2-0 lead. Always a nice way to start a low ball game. Bottom of the first, runners on first and second with 1 out. 2-2 count to Sepulveda. And he goes down swinging. 2 outs and a 1-2 count for Dan Cavan. Good level catcher. Fly ball to center field. Oh, that's trouble. That's off the wall. We'll probably clear the bases and tie the game. Yep, that's a game-tying double. It is now first and second. So Perez, I'm assuming, walked because Cavan didn't advance. So first and second with 2 outs for Ryan Lovick. He hits one to left center field. That's going to drop in a big gap in left center there. And that's another 2-run double. It is now 6-2. Low ball team up again in the highlights. Sepulveda on second. Dan Cavan up again. This is a good level catcher. He hits one to the right center field gap, and that is going to be another extra base hit. This might be a triple. A catcher triple might be incoming here. Yeah, it's a catcher triple. Is Cavan going to hit for the cycle? All right, top of the ninth. This is the AI usually surrender when it goes to 2 outs in the last inning. Ground ball to third, over to first, and that's it. It is a 8-2 win to start the low ball season. It looked promising when the low ball Cardinals gave up 2 runs in the first, but then they went on to score 8 unanswered runs to win the game 8-2, including 5 in the first. I mean, that would have stood up the whole way. All right, well, let's see how the month of we'll look at it in March because in April because March is super short. 4-0, and we'll do April. 6-0 to start the season. All right, coming down to 500. Finally hit 4 at 500. All right, it's finally sub 500. Player of the week was Veal, 6 consecutive hits by Alzueta. 15 and 16, 484 ball. I am kind of curious to see what the bullpen. I want to, when we're done, I want to look at this bullpen area, and then if I have occasion to go back to any of the other teams we did, I want to see what those bullpen is, because I feel like this is the best low ball bullpen I've seen. Bullpen ERA is third. I don't know how that compares to past low ball teams, but we'll have to see. And that's third in the league, not third in the majors. All right, so we'll go to the standings view. I mean, he's a 65 contact hitter. I'm not that surprised that in a small sample size he's hitting 400. I don't think he'll keep it up, but at 65 contact overall, I think he'll end up hitting like 300, 305. Maybe even more, 310 at the outside. All right, Braves 6-25. They are the low ball kings with the White Sox right now, 7-23 and 6-25. The Rockies are 5 wins ahead of the Braves right now. The Braves just collapsing here. Holy cow! Wow. All right, let's do the next month. All right, bottom of the division. There probably will be a lot of bouncing around though because this division is pretty flat. Playing 404 ball. Yeah, they could stay down at the bottom now, I think. The rest of the division has actually floated up a bit. Playing 397 ball now. A lot better low ball showing at this point. And actually very close to the low ball leaders here. The Braves with 20 wins and the Rockies with 20 wins. The low ball Cardinals with only 23 wins. So looking much better after that second month. Yeah, 407 ball in April, 296 ball in May after a 1,000 win percentage in March. So 296. It really depends on which is the real team here, the 407 team or the 296 team. All right, let's do another month. That should give us a little more information as to what we're looking at here. It is June 2nd. The owner has changed their outlook. Let's finish the month. Still bouncing around 400 ball here. This is the same problem Flying WV had last time. He had a hard time getting away from 400 ball till August, and then he had a 250 win percentage August, I think. Never good when you have a Pitcher of the Month award. It is rare for a bullpen pitcher to win Pitcher of the Month, but here we are. Pat Duel, 9 saves and 9 opportunities, a 0 ERA, 2-0 record, 30 strikeouts and 13-2. This is amazing. We're just going to screenshot this. That is an incredible month. 30 strikeouts and I thought this was the best low ball bullpen I'd seen, but what's going on here? 80 stuff. Yeah, 65 HRA, 45 control. Man. He's 3-2 in the season, 0.78 ERA. Man, 0 ERA, 9 out of 9 save opportunities. 30 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings. What does that work out to? So 30 strikeouts divided by 13.667 times 9. That's almost 20 strikeouts per 9 for the month. What a stud. Wow. All right, let's go back to the standings view. Let's sim till the All-Star break. 419 ball. We have now, the Rockies have regained their low ball form. 28 wins. I don't necessarily think this over. I think it's the starting pitching. I mean, let's take a look. Yeah, starting pitching you're at 4.35, 5.32. That alone, I think, is trouble. I mean, even with the 5.32, getting lucky with a 3-10 record. But the 4.35, 8-3, what are the bats doing? Because I think the infield bats are doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. Kurindongo, 532 OPS. Lovick, 513 OPS. Sainz, 4. This is all the pitching. And that was my big concern right before we started. I said, I'm worried about the bench level starters. They look like good low ball pitchers on paper, but they always outperform the scrubs by so much. I mean, 7.06 is the worst ERA. That's usually the best scrub ERA. So, and to the offense's credit, they're still 3-10 with a 5.32 because the offense is so bad. But I don't know. I disagree. I mean, look at the infield hitters are doing what they're supposed to do. And we do usually have a couple of 800 OPS guys. You got to ignore these two because they're bench guys. These OPSs look like top low ball OPSs. All right, let's go back to the standings view here. Let's run it to the All-Star break. Yeah, 30th in runs, 20th in average, 30th in home runs. I think the offense is doing its job. All right, let's one more game to get to the break, and then we'll look at the All-Star voting. So 402 ball, not bad. I think that's still recoverable. I don't know though. It's probably recoverable for 57, maybe not for 54. Only 7 wins ahead of the Rockies though, so that's also recoverable, I think. So the Rockies are playing 333 ball. which is a 54 win pace. So if the Rockies were playing like this during any of the leaderboard seasons, then they would have had a shot at worse in the majors. So there are still some possibilities here. It depends a lot on how the second half goes. Let's look at the voting for All Stars. Let's see. NL fan voting results. Again, we're looking for Cardinals. All right. Again, no one in the top three voting on the infield. One in the outfield, Alberto Veal, second in voting in right field, and one at DH, third in the voting at DH. And pitchers are kind of unreliable. The AI is usually not very good at voting for creative players who are deserving. Every once in a while, though, it does do its job. But I will say, ultimately, they do select, I think, a lot of the right pitchers, even though they're not good at voting for them. Let's see what pitchers might be potential all-stars here. Nick Thomas, sub-2 ERA, 1 WAR. The closer, definitely an all-star candidate here. Like, the fact that this guy is not in the top 5 in voting. Oh, thank you, Spyface Shane. I forgot to quick sell my players, though. But yeah, I will update my live rosters for sure. Thank you for that public service announcement. I even said at the start, I said in Ezra's chat, don't forget live update tonight. And he said, I think he was saying how, like, he doesn't really get involved in it, but I said, like, I'm at least going to quick sell my guys who are going to drop. And then, of course, I forgot to do it, so. But yeah, update your live, not just your live rosters. Any rosters where you have live players, make sure you check on those. I usually scoop up a bunch of deep runs the first day or two after live update because I actually make time to update those rosters, and I end up facing a lot of 23, 24, 25-man rosters in tournaments. It doesn't guarantee a win, but it does make it a little more likely. All right, so let's go see who's actually selected. Looking NL. Yeah, Spyface James, like leaning into that. Sign up for Monday live low diamond in hopes of facing some of those teams. Great strategy, amazing strategy. All right, looking for Cardinals. We're also looking for the level, right? That's what I usually look for is the level. So they didn't take the guy with the .73 ERA. Are you kidding me? Wow. They didn't take Pat Duel, 24 saves, .72 ERA, .77 WHIP, 2.6 WAR, and he didn't get selected. I am now officially taking back what I said about they usually get the picks right, even if they don't get the All-Star voting right. That's a huge miss. That's a ridiculous miss. They've got bullpen guys with a 2.97 ERA, a 4.10 ERA, and they skipped the .73 ERA with 24 saves. More saves than Walker, 1/5 the ERA, 1/6 the ERA almost, and they don't take him. Ridiculous. Wait, where's our player? We have to have one player. Where's the Cardinal? Am I where is the Cardinal? Did I have the setting right? They're supposed to be force all teams to be represented in the All-Star game. I think it might have glitched. I mean, mainly I look for the parentheses in the level in all caps, and I don't see that here. How many players are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Christopher Sanchez is 29. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. I think that's the number of players was have 34. 34, yeah. No Cardinals. It is not supposed to be allowed. Alright, I've got to report that as a bug. Hold on. Let me just fill out this bug report and then we'll resume. So we get that screenshot and then we'll get the rest of the roster. And then also send them a screenshot of the settings view. Okay, let me send that in and we should be good to go. I mean, the question is, how do we handle that for the leaderboard, right? I think it should be treated as a 1 since it's clearly a glitch to have 0. You've had this happen a lot. I mean, you've seen how many streams we've had. Yeah, I'd count it as 1 too, Smiley Face Jane. I agree. And we've never had this happen, so. Yeah, that's weird. I will be curious to see, like, when we get to the game, I'll double check to see what the game roster looks like, but as of right now, it looks like a big glitch. Alright, home run challenge. No one on here, which is good. Schwarber, Kurtz, Wallner, and Judge. Kurtz and Judge. And to no one's surprise, Judge wins another one of these home run challenges. All right, let's go to scores and sims the next day. All right, the AL wins 9-3. Now let's check the box score. Yeah, no. Because the Cardinals would be obvious because they would have the level in parentheses here. So they at least didn't get in the game. Oh, you know what I should have done? Wait, let's go back to here. If we go to, I should have gone to the play, the manage option first, just to see if they were in the roster. But yeah, so I missed that chance to do that. But yeah, but 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 it looks like they just were not on the team. I wonder if there's a way. Do we have to go through every player to see if they where would it show up that they under history? Right, would it say all-star game? I mean, this is around. It would be the pitching staff if it was going to happen anywhere. And it'd be the relief pitchers. So this is the most likely player too. So I would have expected. Do you see All Star here? Let's look at someone who we know is an All Star. That's actually the better way to do it. So let's look at any of these guys. Hunter Brown. Yeah, All Star selection. So that should have shown up, and we didn't have anyone who had that shown up. But the badge, if they've been a multiple All Star in the past, oh, they're created, so they should only have one All Star. You're right, Smiley Face Jane. Yeah, they wouldn't have a history. Yeah, I could have just done that too. That's a good call. I was thinking like it would be mixed in with all the other badges, but none of these guys should have badges. Yeah, none of these guys should have badges. Yeah, they don't have badges, so we could just look at the badges. Yeah, so that's really weird. That's a weird bug. It makes you not trust. It makes you trust the All Star stuff even less, and it makes you want to take the All Star stuff off the leaderboard and off the pack giveaway. If we can't trust it to not do zero, then how can we? And if we already don't trust the voting for pitchers, so it makes it hard to trust anything about the All Star voting. Actually, all right. Let's go back to the season. Finish up the month of July. Still hovering around 400. But look at this. The Rockies at 39 wins. So it is still doable. Only 5 wins ahead of the Rockies. 2 wins ahead of the Nationals. 2 wins ahead of the White Sox. And 1 win ahead of the Athletics. 2 wins behind the Angels. I gotta tell you, the Athletics were all over the place in these 2025 Sims. Have you noticed their last place today? They've made the playoffs multiple times in our Sims. They are just all over the place in these Sims. It is wild. I don't remember any other team being like that in 25 or 26. But we've seen them make the playoffs, and we've seen them right now at the bottom of the AL. Or near the bottom of the AL. One win away from the bottom of the AL. It is wild how crazy they sim. The White Sox too. They've made the playoffs, and they're worst in the AL right now. Now, part of it is they play in relatively flat divisions, so that's part of it. I think it doesn't take a lot of RNG for them to move from bottom to last, but they've had some wild swings. All right, let's do the month of August. We'll know a lot more after this. We'll know whether we need to switch to weekly mode. Oh, the Rockies are starting their usual fade. It's still only 3 wins, though. It's 4 wins now. It's 3 wins before that last day came in. So it's still 4 wins. A 50-win Rockies team. I mean, this is the time to strike if rebjr can do it. Already tied for the lowest win total on the leaderboard. 57 is second place. But you're battling both the Nationals and the Rockies. The Nationals with 51 wins, the Rockies with 50. All right, yeah, we could get a third tie. That is true. All right, let's go week by week. There are still some things here that they're competing for. Let's go week by week. All right, 2 wins that week, not bad. Oh, but the Rockies 5-5 in the last 10 for the Cardinals, 3-7 for the Rockies. So now it's a 5-win gap, and 2 wins ahead of the Nationals. Tied now with the White Sox for in the AL. All right, let's do another, and let's check the leaderboard. Make sure it's clear. Yeah, it's clear. Nice. Oh, hold on. Let me try to calm down Crouton here. Yeah, I found that like when he starts coughing or starts getting agitated, if I can calm him down, I can usually steer him away from having one of his syncope spells. But so just got him to lay down in his bed. Hopefully that works. All right, let's do another week. Keep this going. Rockies up to 52 wins, but the Cardinals up to 58 wins. White Sox at 57. All right, we're at the 15th. The season ends on the 28th. So let's do another week. Let's at least look at another week. 61 wins, Rockies at 55 wins. That 6-game gap just hard to close. Only 1 win ahead of the Nationals now. And if they could have caught the Rockies, it would be worse than the majors because the White Sox are at 62. But the Rockies just still too bad. 55 wins, though, means that the two leaderboard teams would have been the worst in the majors if they had been playing in the same season. So it is doable. It is doable. All right, let's just go to the end of the regular season. It is 62-99 with one more game to go. Now, still 6 wins ahead of the Rockies, 1 win ahead of the Nationals. Well below any team in the American League. All right, let's for the last day. It is a win, 63 wins, 7 wins ahead of the Rockies, 2 wins ahead of the Nationals. Now, let's see. Are we ready to go to... Yeah, we are ready to go to the playoffs. So let's go ahead and save this. And then let's go to playoff coverage, playoff tree. And we'll just start speed simming these. Padres sweep the Dodgers. They'll face the Diamondbacks. The Giants beat the Phillies to face the Cubs. Blue Jays sweep the Rangers to face the Yankees. And the Red Sox are going to face the Mariners after beating the Royals. Division Series, Diamondbacks beat the Padres. Giants sweep the Cubs. Red Sox beat the Mariners. And the Blue Jays beat the Yankees. So it's Blue Jays, Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Giants. And headed to the World Series are the Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays take it, okay, 124 game score. And this is rebjr number 3. Playing the St. Louis Cardinals. I still like the Cardinals as the team choice. I think that's a good one. I think all of these choices are pretty solid, actually. All the ones that have been played, I think they make a lot of sense. All right, so 63 wins, 30 games behind. I'm really curious to see the win percentage by month here. Yeah, so this is very different from Flying V's run. Flying V's run, all the months were like in the 400s, and one terrible month brought him into somewhat into the running, like into the low 60s. This was just a case of, I mean, these are all solid months, but I think June was too good, April a little too good. If you can be in the 300, then spike a couple of sub 300 months, I think you're in the running. But this is just a little too consistently high. Not really high, but just not low enough across the calendar, I think. And again, the offense did what it was supposed to. 15th in the NL. We'll see how they come in the majors, but 14th in the NL. Starters the team ERA usually 39th or 20th with the scrub pitchers. So we'll see. We'll see what the major league rankings end up looking like. But let me fill in the leaderboard here. Runs scored, 633. That is the official lowest run total. So anyone who was saying the offense wasn't doing the job, the offense absolutely did their job. They set a record for low ball. Runs allowed 857. That is, I think, third lowest runs allowed. Yeah, so the offense was absolutely doing its low ball job. In fact, let's take a look at those major league rankings. I think that'll tell us a lot too. Yeah, 30th, 24th, 30th. That is among the best low ball runs of offense. And then defensively, 22, 4, 25. That's actually not bad. It's just that the ERAs are typically 29th, 30th. Especially in the winning runs, they tend to be 30th. So 22 is actually, it doesn't sound like it's that far off, but it actually is pretty far off now that I look at it. But the offense numbers were great. 30, 24, 30. Among the best. In fact, I'm looking, no other team has come in last in runs and home runs before. So the offense very successfully nerfed. All right, let's take a look at postseason awards. Great Glove Awards. I think the problem is, though, you can't nerf the offense like this without using bench level pitchers. And so I think Flying DV had a good question. I think he might have been in a Discord message to me. It might not have been in the chat. But it was like, I think what he said was bad hitting can't keep up with bad pitching in low ball. Like bad pitching is what kind of sets the low ball bar, and I think it looks like that's right. It is just one data point, but it's looking like that's right. All right, so let's look at Gold Gloves. We didn't get a notification, so It should be 0. Yeah, no Cardinals. Yeah, it was 30th, so it wasn't even tied. It was below. It was below everybody. But that is a good point. If you look at right the well, the Nationals actually came in lower. Pittsburgh came in lower. Pittsburgh was actually the lowest of 120, so the Cardinals came in with 113. The Marlins actually respectable 174. Yeah, if we look at the rankings here, you sort by home runs. Oops. And we look at League Scope National. The Marlins actually were 5th from the bottom, almost 6th from the bottom. The Pirates really the class of the low ball power here with 120. So 0 goes left. Let's go to relief pitcher of the year. I think our biggest concern is going to be actually Duel's ERA did come way up to 1.68. But with a 3.9 WAR, 1.6 ERA, and a sub 0.9 WHIP, I still think he is going to get votes, if not win it outright. And I'm a little surprised at that with that profile, but I will say in that round there was a relief pitcher that round that did not have the stuff HRA combo, and I think also had the 45 control. It would be interesting to see what that guy would have done. Gumo D block, but the 80 stuff 65 HRA allowed. That's a pretty tough, pretty good combo there for regular creator roster. So, but let's see what happens with this vote. I think he might win it. All right, did not win it because we didn't get an achievement. Let's see where he came in. Oh, he came in 3rd. I'm surprised. I thought for sure he'd be, if not first, 2nd. Morahone. Wow, Morahone, 0.91 ERA. Okay. He deserves it. Suarez, 42 saves, 0.96 ERA. Okay, both of these guys deserve to beat out Duel. This amazing seasons. Are you kidding me? 42 saves and a sub 1 ERA? What was his whip? Sub 0.9 whip. Amazing. Amazing seasons. 3rd in. So does not get the perfect award cycle that Flying W has gotten. I think 3 times in 27 and was the only one to get it in 26 was Flying WV. No, Reb Jr. got one this cycle too. Reb Jr. I think did it already once too. Yeah, he did it with his last Cardinals run. He did a perfect award cycle. So he broke the stranglehold that Flying W has had on that, but did not repeat it tonight. All right, next up is Silver Sluggers, or Rookie of the Year might be next. No, it is Silver Sluggers, Platinum Stick Award. All right, no notifications, so it looks like we avoided that as well. Yep, it is clean. 0. So Cy Young should be clean. Oh, this is where we do Rookie of the Year first. So no Rookie of the Year candidates. Cy Young Award. I'd be shocked if we get points here, but yeah, no points there. And MVP, I mean, I think it's hard to win MVP points if you don't have a Silver Slugger, but you know, in the AL, you could be stuck behind Judge and still put in a season worthy of some MVP points. You know, you could be behind Otani at DH or something. So, but yeah, with the highest OPS 7.91, this offense was an elite low ball offense. No player above point 0.8 OPS. Even the best low ball teams usually have at least one player at least over 800 OPS. So this offense was elite low ball. Oh yeah, we can do this from the mailbox. So yeah, we should be clean. We should be safe for MVP. I mean, could you imagine someone getting MVP votes with a sub 0.8 OPS? That would be a ridiculous vote. But let's just make sure. Yeah, this is a long list too. And no, Shohei, look at how far down Shohei was on this list. Whoa, look at this Shohei season. One of the worst we've ever seen. 234 average, 833 OPS. He had 43 bombs, but because that batting average was so bad, a 118 OPS plus. Unbelievable. Wow. I mean, we get to see lots of these seasons because we do so many sims across low ball and regular and studs and duds. And this is a bad Shohei season. Wow. All right. RNG, man. RNG can even take down Shohei for an entire season. I mean, I'm talking how bad the season was. He still hit 43 bombs. That's how good he is. But this is a bad Shohei season. All right, let's. I think we have enough information now for the pack giveaway. All right, so let's go do that. Seven of you in the contest. Thank you for participating. Let's go see. Hold on. There we go. That'll look better. Well, yeah, we do have injuries off, so it is better than getting injured. That's for sure. That's fair. LLB, thank you for scriptures for Crouton. Let me go ahead and deliver those. Hey, buddy, LLB scriptures for you. There you go. All right, let's see here. Let's get back to this. Okay, will this team have the worst record season in the majors? They did not. So Nerdavanky, Z Grizzly, Nether Warden, and Good Opinion Haver are still alive. Everyone's going to be alive though for second place, so stick around. Worst record in the sub league, in this case the National League, they were not because of the Rockies. So we lose Nerdavanky, Z Grizzly. We keep Nerdavanky, Z Grizzly, and Good Opinion Haver. Will this team finish last in the division? They did finish last in the division. So we keep Nerd of Anarchy and Z Grizzly. And then playoffs and division, guessed correctly, no. That brings us to win total. The win total was 63. And we resize the columns here so we can see. It's just between Nerd and Z Grizzly for this question. So Nerd 3 away, Z Grizzly 6 away. So Nerd of Anarchy is going to get first place and 7 packs. Z Grizzly is going to get second place and 3 bonus points for the second place competition. Which is not nothing. It is not enough to guarantee a win. We've had plenty of people win without those 3 bonus points, but it is a big help. A very big help. So let's hide these columns. And Nerd of Anarchy does not get guesses scored because they've already won. Congratulations. And Z Grizzly, we're going to keep this yellow here to remind us that he gets those 3 bonus points. Alright, games behind 30. So Amber is closest with 33. A solo point. Solo point is very important, especially when trying to close that 3-point gap. Okay, All-Star game. We did decide we're going to call it a 1 because that is the minimum. With the glitch, it was a 0, but we're going to count this as a 1. Gold Glove winners, 0. So, for Marty, Z Grizzly, Nether Warden, Reb Jr., points. Platinum Sick Awards, 0. For Marty, Z Grizzly, Nether Warden, Reb Jr., Good Opinion Haver, points. Okay, run scored, again, 30th on this. Wow, solo point for Reb Jr. Nice. Batting average. 24th. No one gets it exactly, so Formarty 1 below, Amber 1 above, Reb Jr. 1 below. All get points. Home runs hit. Again, the only team to be last, dead last in runs scored and home runs hit this cycle. So 30th. Reb Jr. with another point. ERA, 22nd. No one actually super close, but Amber closest with 26. Solo point there too. Big solo point. Strikeouts thrown, 4th. A lot of that's probably going to be coming from the bullpen. Oh, and also bench level starters instead of scrub. So 4th. Z Grizzly not close, but closest with 12th. Big solo point for the person with the 3 bonus points for Z Grizzly. Defensive efficiency. Amber says, I'm getting a bit better at this. Hit the win total on the number. Was just counting on Rockies pulling off a rare 64 win season. And LLB says, never bet on that. Probably good advice there. 25th in defensive efficiency. Another solo point for the 3-point bonus person in Z Grizzly. That makes it really tough to overcome. All right, so before we go into the hitting questions, 3 for Marty, 4 for Amber, 2, 4, 5 plus 3 bonus for Z Grizzlies. That's 8. 3 for Nether Warden, 5 for Reb Jr., and 2 for Good Opinion Haver. There's enough questions there where everyone's still in the running, but clearly Reb Jr. and Amber have the best shot of beating Z Grizzly right now. Okay. Home runs by the team leader in home runs. Okay, this is again why I have to say there's no way this team overperformed. So last time, Flying W had one of the lower home run leader totals. I think it was like 24. The problem was his entire starting lineup had double-digit home runs. This time, the home run leader is below 20 with 19, and only 6 players have double-digit home runs. So this is I can't state enough how good of a low ball offensive run this was. Okay, so I 19 because you have to take some good level bats and you usually have to eat some power. And so 19 is incredibly low. Now it does help that he's in the ballpark that supports that too. But 19 incredibly low, and that leads to Reb Jr. getting the point there with a guess of 21. Just edges out Good Opinion Haver with a very good guess also of 22. Okay, strikeouts by batters. This is interesting. Strikeout totals also incredibly low, but one guy had 150. So Mike Christ had 150 on the nose. And that's Good Opinion Haver nails that exactly. 150. Okay, lowest batting average. At least 100 plate appearances. Holy cow. Rafael Sainz. Now, I said before the sim, I really liked his infield. Sainz hit 169 in a full season, 558 plate appearances. Lovick hit 240, 224, and Kuridango hit 234. Kuridango is starting at third because his third baseman was even worse. Dieter was so bad that Kuridango started at third. But none of these guys hit over 234. Amazing infield performance. So the lowest batting average was 169. Very nice batting average, 169. Netherwarden with a 160. I can't believe no one had the meme guess of 169. They would have nailed it. Netherwarden takes it. All right, and then OPS, lowest OPS. Again, no one on the team over 800, which is kind of amazing. Sainz didn't even clear 500. 494 OPS. 494 OPS. So Formarti is 25 away. This is interesting. Most people undershot this one, which I wasn't expecting. So yeah, Formarti takes it. Solo point there. And then worst batter war. There's a negative 2.6 from... It's all the infield. Negative 2.6 from Lovick. Negative 3.2 from Kuridango. And Sainz with a negative 3.6. That's Amber Laterra with a 3.8. Negative 3.8. And Red Jr. with a negative 3.8. We'll each get a point there. Alright, so after the batting questions, Formarti moves up to 4. Amber moves up to 5. Z Grizzly stays put at 8, so this gives everyone a little more hope here. Netherwarden moves up to 4. Red Jr. moves up to 7. And Good Opinion Haver at 3. There's 5 questions left. So actually, even Good Opinion Haver can catch Z Grizzly. And the tiebreak is whoever got the most recent question right. So these later questions are going to have a little more weight than the others. All right, we go to the pitching side. So again, relief pitchers tend to bring in a lot of the strikeouts because they're better, and the starters don't pitch many innings. But we're used to seeing starting pitcher inning counts in the 120s and 120 to 150. These guys are 160 to 190. So that's a big shift in the gameplay. Right, we're talking 30, 40 more innings per starter. And you can see it's I got a big no relief pitcher over 100 innings. That's something we don't see in low ball a lot. Only 5 relief pitchers with over 100 strikeouts. No relief pitcher with more strikeouts than a starting pitcher. All this stuff we usually don't see. And again, these bench players, they look good on paper for low ball. Oh, it's because the entire starting rotation is bench level LLB. And look, I'll say it again. I keep saying this. They on paper, they look like they should be pretty close to the scrub level starting pitchers. They perform way better. They perform way better. A 4.6, a 5.35, even the 6.29. Like, scrub pitchers just can't touch those numbers. But the bigger thing is, it's 188 innings of 4.6. It's 181 and 2/3 innings of 5.35. Like, those make a big difference. They make an outsized difference. Well, they pitch more innings because they're just better, LLB. They're just better than the scrub level pitchers. They don't look that much better if you look at the ratings here, but they just perform significantly better. Yeah, so the strikeouts, it is 157 from Mike Henson. Look at that, Amber guessing 157 exactly. Very close, Z Grizzly and Red Jr. with 155. But you can't beat exactly correct. Very nice guess by Amber. And also good guesses by Seekers and Reb Jr. too. All right, home runs allowed. 46. 46. Six away is Good Opinion Haver. And that is the closest. So Good Opinion Haver gets one there. All right, highest ERA with at least 100 innings pitched. 7.31. 7.31. Look at Netherwarden, 7.35. What a guess. Incredible job there. All right. LB says, if someone is starting a scrubble, then one would need to consider bullpen. If it's a scrub level rotation, then absolutely yes. Usually the strikeout leader will come from the bullpen because they're better and they're pitching more innings at that point. Like when Flying W does his 11 pitcher pitching staff approach, every relief pitcher pitches over 100 innings, and usually they all have triple digit strikeouts as well, and the strikeout leader comes from the bullpen. This approach with 13 pitchers, that's less likely to happen. Even if the starters had been scrubs, it's just less likely to happen because there's just more pitchers in the bullpen. But yeah, the dynamics of the pitching staffs are kind of crazy in low ball. All right, whip. Highest whip with at least 100 innings pitched. It's Calixto with a 1.93. 1.93. Very good guess here by Netherwood at 1.85. Nerd of Anarchy would have been closer, but Nerd of Anarchy has already won, so point for Netherwarden. Okay, and then the worst pitcher war, negative 2.1 by Kyle Hunter. 2.1. So Reb Jr. is going to be closest there. I think that might have just won it for Reb Jr. 2.1, 0.2 away, yeah. Alright, so after the pitching, Formarty stays at 4. Amber moves up to 6. Z Grizzly stays at 8. Netherwarden moves up to 6. Rev Jr. moves up to 8. And Good Opinion Haver moves up to 4. But because Rev Jr.'s 8th correct guess was the last question, that is the final tiebreak between Z Grizzly and Rev Jr. So congratulations, Nerd of Anarchy, first place. And then our special guest tonight, the person who ran the sim, Rev Jr., comes in second with a big comeback. All right, congrats. I'll be sending those to Nicolino. I did send a batch to him on Friday, but probably too late for him to get to it, so hopefully he'll send those out on Monday. Because of that, maybe I'll wait to send the next batch until a few days later, since it's 2 weeks worth of giveaways that I sent to him on Friday. So maybe I'll send this next batch like on Wednesday or something. All right, I mean, really fun sim. I really enjoyed how bad the offense was there, especially the infielders. So I think Rev Jr. is really close to putting something together that'll break that 54 win total. I think Rev Jr. is really close. He's got the right pieces, but just like everybody, he's got to figure out how to blend the bad pitching with the bad hitting. Like all these low run total seasons on the leaderboard. Right, so the 633 is now the new green. The Flying W had one here, Kynan had one here. They all have come at the expense of bad pitching. So it's really hard to balance that. Yeah, most of the good runs have come from bad pitching. but I do at least appreciate the effort to nerf the bats here, because I don't know. I mean, first of all, I think you can still believe that bad bats can outdo bad pitching, especially if you think you can get the bats bad enough. And I think in that regard, Rev Jr. did a really great job having two average level bats on the bench. That was an amazing feat, and I think his roster file had a lot to do with that. I think there was some RNG, but I think he had a really good roster file as far as for nerfing offense. But I said it the whole way. I thought those bench level starters were a concern. And I think ultimately what it boils down to, I guess I agree with what Flying W was saying the other night, that it's hard for bad hitting to keep up with bad pitching for a low ball roster. Now that said, you know the teams that have been most successful, I think, have gone. So scrub level's only four picks in 27. They've gone four scrubs, and well, let's put the rosters up. They've gone some combination. So here, Red Junior's second run, I think is a good example here. He went two scrub, three bench pitchers, right? But he still had the two scrubs. I think that some version of that is probably going to break the record. I think Find V's fifth run, four scrub, and one bench, right? And so he did the classic approach and still got the 54 wins. I mean, actually, that's what all these runs are. The second fewest wins too. Flying W goes four scrubs, one bench, and then Rev Junior goes two scrubs, three bench. And so I think like playing with that mix of bench and scrub starting pitchers that Rev Junior's been doing, I think is going to lead to the breaking the 54 win record. I don't think it can be done with five bench level starters. As bad as they are, they're still too good. Now, is the record going to come from two bench and three scrub? I don't think so, because then you can't pick a pair of bats down here. I don't know. Maybe you could. I don't know. Again, I think it's gonna. I think playing around with that is what's gonna do it. Is it 3-2 or 2-3? If it is 2-3, then what's the one bench? What's the one scrub position player you take? But again, that's what I think makes this game interesting. Is that there's no clear meta yet for the bottom end of the roster. I think the top end is clear. Your top six picks at least are relief pitchers. In 26, a few people had success with two legend level catchers. I don't think that's going to work in 27. I mean, all the top runs have had, the top six picks be relief pitchers. Now, for some of these, it's two more relief pitchers. For some of them, there are no more relief pitchers. But yeah, top six being relief pitchers is definitely better. But it's the bottom end here that I think is very interesting in 27. Two different approaches have both tied for fewest and second fewest wins. So I think that's really promising. And then one thing that several of these runs that didn't, aren't in the running for the worst record are they have starting pitchers up at the average level. Some of the bench, all bench didn't work out tonight. And I don't think all bench will work, because this was like the worst offense we've seen, and all bench still wasn't bad enough to pull it off. So that's what makes me think all bench. But I don't know. If anyone could prove me wrong with all bench working, it would be Rebjr, I would think. But I mean, this was a historically bad offense, and all bench was still too good. So, but I really enjoy that there's lots of different approaches down here at the bottom that are working and that people are experimenting with. The win total tonight was 63. So yeah, but I think with Flying WV, I think he's got a good approach, and a lot of it is like player creation RNG, game RNG. But even he has been experimenting with 11 pitchers, 13 pitchers. So I think he's still fine tuning, and he might crack something open. Um, but then yeah, I like that Reb Jr. is taking a very different approach than Flying WV, but also finding success with it. So we'll see. Upcoming, we've got. I'm gonna do dead ball pitching attribute testing tomorrow. We've been focused on batting. I'm gonna do some pitching attributes tomorrow. Thursday, Friday will be PTCS roster builds. Oh wait, oh I skipped tomorrow. Tomorrow's Nerd of Anarchy playing low ball. So Nerd of Anarchy hasn't hit the leaderboard yet, but I think is always has some compelling approaches. So we'll see what he brings tomorrow, especially having seen what tonight's run did, having seen what the previous run did. Z Grizzly redeeming another one. Thank you, Z Grizzly. So Z Grizzly, I think we have to book two for you then, right? I think you have one coming still, and so I think this will be two. Um, and then so yeah, so we got Nerd of Anarchy Monday night. Tuesday night will be a 1914 pitching attribute. Thursday, Friday will be PTS roster building. Unless something very surprising happens and I only get like a handful of teams into PTCS. But as of week 3, I was on track to have a bunch again, so it'll probably take 2 days. Friday afternoon, I'd like to do the Bob Horner tribute sim. And then Saturday night will be Flying WV. Monday night or Sunday night is the return of Smiley Face Jane doing historical games. And I'm still working with folks to schedule the rest of next week, but the rest of this coming week will be Nerd of Anarchy Lowball pitching attribute test Tuesday, off on Wednesday, PTSS roster builds Thursday, Friday afternoon Bob Horner tribute, and Saturday Flying WV. Yeah, live card updates happen like instantaneously and right on time too. It's not like sometimes the PTCS roster thing or the PTS rankings take a while to come out on Monday, but what is my episode 48? I don't even know what that is. What is my episode 48 LLB? Oh, it can vary over hours? I mean, for me, it happens when I'm streaming almost every time. So to me, it doesn't vary because by the time I start streaming, it hasn't happened. By the time I finish streaming, it's done. I don't think I've ever had a chance to do any live spec stuff after my stream. But I've only been streaming for 2 years now, so it could have been different outside of that. Something about correcting for normalization and having benchmarks. Oh yeah, is it the modifiers and yeah, I'm gonna redo the league full of Babe Ruth because I think there's enough new players now that would benefit from understanding how modifiers work. Okay, yeah. So Claydog says my stream covers the range of hours. Well, there you go. So that I'm showing my bias. My bias is I look before and I look after my stream, and it's always done. And I always forget to quick sell my cards before the stream, so I always finish my stream and get upset that I lost a bunch of value on cards that I didn't quick sell. And then I slowly start to get happy when I realize I've gotten more value in other cards that got promoted. Oh yeah, the Nate Cornejo and who did I choose as a batter who never strikes out? Was it Nelly Fox maybe? Cornejo and Fox? That sounds right to me. Yeah, that's also where I inadvertently proved the presence of the stuff boost if you put starting pitchers in the bullpen. That's one where OOTP developments had always told us that was true, but I had never seen it so like starkly displayed in a sim as in that one, where the Nate Cornejos in the bullpen were just like throwing gas, like double-digit strikeouts per nine from Nate Cornejos in the bullpen. It's crazy. All right, let's figure out what we're gonna rate. I think it's Ophi tonight. Yeah, if Tuki were doing his Wario Road to the Show, I would have rated into that. But we did rate into his NHL 11 last night, and it was pretty fun. But Ophi's been away for the weekend, so let's raid into Ophi again. Oh wait, first let me do my check. Let me make sure no affiliates are streaming right now. And Smiley Face Jane, if you're still in chat, if you're gonna stream, please let me know because I will always raid into Smiley Face Jane. I'm asking again because Smiley Face Jane did stream recently, so I thought I'd go back to asking. I did give your scritches LLB, yes. But yeah, no one else who streams OTV is dumb enough to be streaming right now like me. So we're gonna raid Ophi tonight. For those of you who haven't rated Ophi with us before, she is a pixel artist living in Taiwan and usually does cross stitching on stream, occasionally does some variety gaming, and on June, is it 17th? Whatever that Wednesday is. June 17th, I will be doing a guest appearance on her stream. She does a fundraising week each year. I don't know if she's chosen the charity yet, but she did say it was going to be a trans-focused charity this year. So I'll be on the 17th on her stream. I think we're playing a game. We're co-playing a game. She told me what the game was, but it was not Civ 6 or OTP, so I have already forgotten what the name was. No, Tugi, we're about to raid out. I was looking at yours to raid into you. And we were going to raid out. I was like, oh, we raided Tugi's NHL 11 last night. And I was hoping to see some Wario on there. And we're raiding out too. So I will let whoever we raid into know that it is a joint raid between us and Tugi. No, there was no battle last night. I was done way before Tugi was done last night. But yeah, I tell everyone who will listen that how much I like Tugi's Wario Road to the Show. Road to the Show streams. Every time I see him stealing a base and running, I think it's so great. He looks so good with his giant thighs. Yeah. So for those who are already here before Tugi raided in, let's give a shout out to Tugi. Shout out Tugi24. Awesome variety streamer. Mostly sports from what I've seen. Always really fun. Not entirely done with Roadshow. I want to take a slight. No. Like I like all your sports streams, so it's definitely not a complaint. But I especially like the Wario streams. Yeah, Clayton, I think that sometimes too. To watch him rolling down the base pass would be funny. That's funny that you said that because my mental like image is sometimes of that. And of course, I really enjoyed. I didn't get to see it, but I enjoyed the aftermath of Tugi 24 playing the lacrosse game. That was an incredible stream. One of my favorites. All right, so I'll let Ophi. We're gonna raid Ophi, and I will let her know that this is a joint Tugi 24 raid. But yeah, so coming up more low ball, lots of PTCS prep Thursday and Friday, and I think this pitcher experiment for testing what profiles work best in or what attributes are most important in 1914, I think will be really interesting. We focus a lot on the batting. I think we proved some things that were I think considered best practice, like picking for BABIP first. But I think we also uncovered some surprises. I think the experiment that LLB requested and that Bronson Johnson redeemed the channel points for, what pairs best with BABIP, I thought that was really eye opening. And so now I'm hoping that the pitching one does the same. Oh, if there was a podcast about the Tugi 24 lacrosse thing, I would listen to every episode of that. Yeah, LOB, just ping me in Discord. That's how we schedule. So just ping me in Discord. Remind me that you have redemption to schedule, and we'll get you on the calendar. I also know it might be hard for you to schedule in advance too because you're doing um, caregiving, but we'll try to figure it out.